Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Akshat. So, should we keep it commerce specific?
As you say, sir.
Okay, so
Commerce specifics. Commerce specific.
uh, let's keep it commerce and economics.
Okay, sir.
Uh, so, Akshat, let's start it.
Yes, sir.
Akshat, can you please share how your knowledge of commerce will help you in the administration?
So my knowledge of commerce and CA will help me in majorly three ways. First is finance is the substantial part of any administration, and with knowledge of financial management, I would be in a better position to help in financial management of funds of the public. Secondly, through budgeting, I can ensure better budgeting through performance budgeting as well as outcome-based budgeting. Thirdly, I can help in double checking the cost effectiveness of schemes through auditing my on my own side as well as through helping the government auditors do it.
Okay, fine. Can you please tell me the three golden rules of accounting?
So these relate to the three types of accounts. In the personal account, the golden rule is debit the receiver, credit the giver. In real account, the golden rule is debit what comes in, credit what goes out. And in nominal account, the rule is debit the expenses and credit the incomes.
Fine. Recently, many government departments are trying to move towards the accrual-based accounting. So, what are the reasons for this, and what are the problems we are facing in this process?
So may I take a few seconds?
Sure.
So the reasons for moving towards accrual-based accounting and government accounting system is first, we can ensure that there is we know the position of the assets and liabilities of the government. Secondly, we can ensure that the liabilities of the government are known, for example, in terms of interest due or in pension funds. This can help us in planning better financial management in the future. However, there are concerns regarding this, wherein we may face problems regarding the valuation of assets of the company of the government. For example, the land the government owns. And secondly, shifting from a cash-based system of accounting currently to a accrual-based system would involve a lot of administrative costs as well.
Okay. Any other benefit? Why do we want to know the assets and liabilities? Any visible benefit you can think of?
So I think we need to know the assets and liabilities in order to evaluate the government's position in terms of fiscal deficit as well as debt to GDP ratio. This will help it track its financial indicators.
Fiscal deficit is based on the budget, and budget is prepared on the cash basis. So
Yes, sir.
we are not actually changing the budget. We are just talking about the accounting part. So anyways, by using the accrual based of accounting, we are not changing the budget as such. So fiscal deficit
Okay.
part is not going to be impacted.
Sorry, sir. I'll have to read more about this.
Fine. Uh, you have mentioned about the money laundering in your profile.
Yes, sir.
So can you please tell me three major efforts which the government is doing these days for controlling the money laundering in India?
So the first one would be the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, which is being implemented in order to investigate the money laundering cases. Second would be the Financial Intelligence Unit of India, which ensures a data repository of all the information from reported entities, wherein we can analyze the data in order to trace the proceeds of crime. And third is the Enforcement Directorate, wherein which has been given investigative powers for money laundering cases. This has been substantiated with various exchange of information agreements with tax haven countries as well.
Okay. Uh, Despite so many efforts, why we are not able to control the money laundering?
So the major reason here is the complexity of the financial transactions and the volume of the financial transactions in the process of layering, which is involved in money laundering. This prevents or this even blocks the investigations at some point of time wherein the ED cannot trace the proceeds of crime. Second is cracking down on the crime itself, on the predicate offense, which is mentioned in the schedules of the PMLA. For example, drug trafficking, organized crime. These have to be cracked down in order to prevent money laundering. And this has been done, but the progress is a bit slow, sir.
Okay. How much is the extent of money laundering from India? Uh, do you do you know the financial figures as such?
Sir, I'll have to read about this, sir. I'm sorry, sir.
Okay, and what are the major destinations of money laundering from India?
So currently, Mauritius and Singapore have been declared as cooperating nations, and they have been removed from the tax haven countries. So people have shifted to Cayman Islands, to Liechtenstein, and to British Virgin Islands for this.
Do you think the global minimum tax will be able to help here?
So I think the global minimum tax is aimed at these low tax jurisdictions wherein the taxes are near 0%. So implementing a global 15% flat tax rate would help curb the shifting from uh, high tax jurisdictions to low tax jurisdictions, and this would enable the companies to this would enable the countries to tax the companies. However, where there is also financial secrecy and banking secrecy laws, the global minimum tax would not be sufficient in order to identify the beneficial owners of the companies. This would require OECD frameworks and exchange of information agreements from the tax haven countries.
Hmm. Right. Uh, you have also mentioned about behavioral economics. You are
Yes,
reading
sir.
some of the books. So can you please tell me uh, few learnings from the behavioral economics which I can apply in my day-to-day life?
Sir, if you want to change some habit or if you want to implement something in your life, first thing you could do is to make it easy to choose for yourself. For example, if someone wants to eat healthy food all the time, or if someone wants to improve their health through exercising, they can make it easily accessible. For example, putting fruits on the table, on the dining table, or for example, keeping gym equipments in the living room in order to remind ourselves. This is called the nudge theory. Second is the cognitive biases. We can consciously make ourselves aware of the cognitive biases we have. For example, any prejudices we hold for against any person or any thing. Sir.
Okay, are these helping you? Are you utilizing these learnings?
Yes, sir. These have been helping me, and I have tried to improve my health bit a bit. That's why I gave this example. And also, I'm trying to make conscious choices when I'm faced with a decision-making dilemma, and I'm trying to remove my cognitive biases as well
Okay,
to some extent.
so how do you make conscious choices? What is the process of making conscious choices?
Sir, rather than jumping directly to the conclusion, I try to often make a pros and cons list in my mind in order to do a cost benefit analysis of what the problem is. And sometimes I try to even bifurcate the problem into controllables and where I can completely focus on the controllables and then take some decision. This helps me see the problem from a wider view and then helps me also solve it.
Okay. And how do you overcome the cognitive bias?
So it is a long process where we have to consciously remind ourselves that this could be a cognitive bias, or I could be falling in a trap of a bias, and then by reminding ourselves, we can consciously do it.
Can you please share me few cognitive biases that we have normally?
Yes, sir. So first is the anchoring bias, where we try to define a person's quality by a major quality, which first piece of information which we get about the person, we try to define the person by that. Second would be the halo effect, where we try to define the person by the major behavioral pattern he has, rather than by uh, taking a holistic personality. And thirdly is the recency bias, where we try to judge a situation through the recent information we have gained rather than a holistic information which we have received over time. These are the three major biases we have.
Yes, very good.
Thank you, sir.
So you are also guiding the CA students
Yes, sir.
as your extracurricular activity. Chartered accountants sometimes they are alleged to help out the companies and some uh, in some frauds, and
Yes.
sometimes they are part of the nexus with the management and the investors. So what is your take on this?
Yes, sir. There are few elements in the chartered accountants profession where they have been involved in frauds, and this is a blot on the profession. However, currently the NFRA, working with the ICI, has ensured that the audit firms are investigated on risk-based basis, and there is a audit quality review provision with the NFRA, which helps them to avoid any frauds which could happen due to lapses of audit procedures.
Recently, ICAI and NFRA they were in conflict with each other on some issue.
Yes, sir.
What is that issue, and what is the current status?
So if I remember correctly, it is the issue of the SA 600, which is the principal auditor is responsible for the works of the subsidiary companies, auditors of the subsidiary companies as well. This was to be aligned with the international standard of auditing of 600, which NFRA recommended. However, the ICI recommended that if this is aligned with the international standard, this would lead to the small-sized firms going out of business. So a middle solution was taken, wherein the principal auditor could audit the companies and perform audit procedures of subsidiary companies, and then could rely on the report of the subsidiary auditor.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Recently, there was some proposal about changes in the code of conduct, code of ethics for the chartered accountants. So, are you aware about the changes?
I'm sorry, sir. I'll have to read
Proposal.
about this.
Okay, some proposal regarding advertisement, that now advertisement norms are changed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, please go through these norms and the
Okay, sir.
impact these will have. Also, we don't have any big consultancy firm from India. All the big
Yes,
fours
sir.
are non-Indian firms. So what are the efforts that we are already doing, and what more we can do to make to create some big consultancy firm from India?
May I take a few seconds, sir?
Sure.
So we have taken a few steps. ICI has introduced the peer audit review provisions, wherein the uh, other audit firms can review the work of the principal audit firm. This helps us to gain from the best practices of the Big Four, and which we can implement in our firms. Secondly, there's also a provision of internal audit in the Companies Act, which also helps us to which also helps us to enter into companies where big four companies are working as concurrent auditors. And thirdly, we are also incorporating best practices through audit campaigns and through seminars, which are often being held by leaders of the big four.
Okay. Do you think these steps are sufficient to make to create an Indian big consultancy firm? What else we can do?
So I think these are necessary but not sufficient, and uh, we need to engage with the big four companies and big size audit firms in order to increase our professional capacities. We need to work in a more professional manner in order to adopt their procedures and tailor them according to India's conditions.
Uh, how how's the artificial intelligence going to impact the accounting profession?
Sir, I think AI, artificial intelligence, would be a double-edged sword for accounting profession, wherein it could automate the recording of entries in the accounting profession. It could also augment the work of the accounting professional through increasing prediction analysis as well as through pattern recognition for fraud detection and for any entries which are filled in wrong by the subordinates.
Okay, these are very minor things you're talking about. I'm talking at the macro level. How it is going to shape the future of accounting profession? Where do you see the role of
Sir,
chartered accountants in the context of AI? Don't you think it can replace a lot of uh, functions which CAs already do, and it can help
sir, I
you.
think
It can help out also, like in
yes, sir.
making the order, or making the audit procedures more robust.
Yes, sir. So yes, it can replace some of the works that CA firms do. For example, bookkeeping and recording of entries. However, it can augment the works of the chartered accountants through increased risk analysis in audit procedures and through fraud detection. However, the requirement of CAs will always be there because this is a profession of advisory basis, and we have to analyze various laws in order to give an advice or in order to give a professional skepticism for our audit. So, a human judgment is required in these cases, and that's where AI would not reach. So,
Suppose I have very advanced GPT.
yes, sir.
Say 2 years, 2 years later, we have very advanced GPT which integrates all the legislations, all the rules, all the Supreme Court judgments, and we upload latest best practices, good financial audit reports, everything, right? Uh,
Yes,
so now uh, that will actually kind of replace lots of jobs which some junior staff might be doing earlier. And uh, as you are saying, the human judgment will be required, but that human judgment will also be based upon this analysis which is given by the AI. So
yes, sir.
because humans can never process so much data as
True,
compared
sir.
to AI. So where exactly will be the role of humans in this context?
Yes, sir, artificial intelligence will be a disruptive technology in the accounting profession, and it would lead to a lot of job losses because of the automation as well as analysis. However, it would also create new jobs in terms of accounting personals who have the capacity to enter the prompts which are required, or for accounting professions who create who help in consulting the software firms in order to create the AI softwares for this. So these jobs would increase, and this would encourage the people to reskill and upskill themselves in order to become better professionals, where they can also get into advisory services and which involve human judgment.
Okay, that is my question. That is my question. Still unanswered. Uh, like exactly what will be the role of human judgment? Because analysis is already done by the AI. AI has huge capability to process the data, and
Yes, sir.
humans cannot cross verify each and everything, or even if they go for random checking, then AI is much more robust. So what will be the role of human judgment? That is my question.
Okay.
Where exactly the role human judgment will come into picture? You can take some example.
So one thing I can think of is that the role of human judgment would come in order to shape the analysis in the local context, where the local practices of the jurisdiction would not be able to be fed in the data set which the AI has. And the professional might have to analyze them and provide the advice according to the local conditions prevailing in the jurisdiction.
Okay. Have you heard of economic IRR?
No, sir, I'm sorry, I'll have to read about this.
Mm, what are the primary reasons of increase in the prices of silver and gold recently?
So the increase in price of the gold is driven by two major factors. First is the global uncertainty that has been prevailing due to geopolitical reasons. And second is the anticipation of Fed rate cuts, which has weakened the perception of US dollar, and people are moving away from uh, US dollar. The banks, central banks are moving away from US dollar. Majorly China, India, Russia have been investing in gold. Silver has these reasons as well as one more reason. The industrial demand of silver is increasing because of use in the clean energy technology and electrical vehicles, battery systems.
Okay, fine. These reasons are, uh, I think, well known to most of the people.
Yes, sir.
But do you think these reasons are sufficient to bring such a huge jump in the silver prices? It's almost three times. Don't you think it's all made up, artificial price hike through derivatives?
Uh, Sir, I think the gold prices, of course, work upon the demand and supply basis. And when central banks have been demanding gold for a long time through in the hope of de-dollarization, for example, the China and Russia and India banks, then this would shoot up the gold prices. Further, the retail investors are also increasing their gold investments through ETFs in the stock market. This has also led to the increase in gold and silver prices.
Okay, we have Gift City, and in the Gift City, we have the regulator IFSC.
Yes, sir.
So, IFSC is going to replace all the other regulators: RBI, SEBI, IRDI, PFRDA. So, uh, still, what challenges we might face uh, in the working of IFSC?
May I take a few seconds, sir?
Mhm.
Sir, I think first would be the availability of specialized experts who would have knowledge about all the domains of RBI, SEBI, IFRD, and PFRDA. Second would be the reluctance of global companies to comply with the rules of IFSCA. And third would be a issue of coordination, wherein there would be friction between RBI and IFSCA in terms of imposition of rules in the jurisdiction.
Okay. In India, the depth of corporate bond market is not very good. So, what are the
Yes, sir.
reasons for this?
So I think the first reason would be the focus towards the share market, the equity market, which is currently 135% of our GDP. Second reason is restrictions on various insurance companies and pension funds to invest in triple A rated bonds of corporates rather than any other bonds. This restrictions ensures that only the top companies get the corporate debt and not the other double A or A rated companies receive the debt. And a third reason is low retail penetration, which has been restricted in the corporate bond market currently.
Okay. Recently, one taxation related issue was in news about Tiger Global.
Yes, sir.
Can you please explain this?
So this issue relates to the misuse of the DTAA with Mauritius. Tiger Global had three subsidiaries in Mauritius, which owned the shares of Flipkart Singapore, which in turn owned the shares of Flipkart India. So Tiger Global Mauritius companies A, B, and C sold the shares of Flipkart Singapore to a company in Luxembourg, which was owned by Walmart. So when this transaction happened, the advanced ruling authority had already declared that this transaction would be taxable in India because these are conduit companies in Mauritius which have been introduced to uh, take a undue tax advantage. The Supreme Court, the case finally reached the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court decided that the DTAA has to look beyond tax residency certificate in Mauritius to ensure that the companies are not conduit companies and actually have a substance in their incorporation. And this is where they moved away from the old judgment of Azadi Andolan case and declared that uh, going into the substance of the transaction rather than just the form.
Okay, fine, very good.
Thank you, sir.
How many government accounting standards we have in India?
Sir, the old AS, the accounting standards are 29 till
No,
AS
no, I'm
29.
asking, sorry, I'm asking about government accounting standards, GAS.
I'm sorry, sir, I have to read about this.
Okay. Are you aware about GFR, General Financial Rules?
Sorry, sir, I'll have to read about this as well.
Okay, okay, fine.
Yes,
Fine, fine, Akshat. So I think we have discussed enough number of questions. ठीक है जी अक्षत, anything else?
yes. अभी ये सब वापस प्रिपेयर करता हूँ सर, एक बार आपसे
हाँ
एक और बार बात करता हूँ फिर.
हाँ हाँ, आराम से, मतलब एक दो दिन लगा करके अच्छे से करो, हो जाएगा आराम से,
हाँ, yes.
कन्विक्शन आ जाएगी. चलिए ठीक है जी अक्षत, ऑल द बेस्ट,
Okay, sir.
हैव अ
Thank
नाइस
you,
डे.
sir. Thank you.